I came up with what I think is a slightly better setup for a consistent rail clip tonight. If you didn't watch my last video about a consistent clip, I recommend watching that first. It, I think, would help you understand a little bit of the basic setup and movements I'm doing here. But I'm just gonna get right into it. If you get into the setup position I described last time, where you're cycling between 2 points and you pick the right point, this setup starts the same as the last one. You do those 2 frames. You want to do a 1 frame pause buffer down. Yeah, let me get back into position. Should be it. 1 frame, there we go. Triangle will leave the menu. This is where the setup differs. Before, I did a 2nd-frame pause buffer. This time, I want to move down for 1 frame and then pause. Like that. You can tell it was 1 frame, again, because Pac-Man's arms are by his side. And then you want to do a 1-frame pause buffer. In this case, this puts us in the same position as a 2nd-frame pause buffer does. I think that's just a coincidence, but it's nice, and I find this a lot easier than trying to time unpausing the game for exactly 2 frames and then repausing it. So after that, we press triangle to leave the menu. And then you can still do 8 single-frame down presses here if you want. But I also found you can do, again, all of these are 1-frame taps. Right, down, down, right, down, down. And that clips us to the side. If you hold down at this point, it'll clip you back in bounds. But if you tap down a bit, and then start holding down, then you're good. You're good and through. And it's easy. I find this a lot easier than the last... Nice. Than the last setup I came up with. Also, when doing this setup, I've had a number of attempts where my last inputs were definitely not 1-frame taps, and I still got the clip, which that didn't happen at all with the old setup. With the old setup, if I messed up anywhere, I would definitely go back and bounce at the end. So yeah, something about this setup offers a little bit more leniency. So yeah, that again, you move into this wall until you're cycling back and forth between 2 points. Come on. You want to do a 1-frame pause buffer, move for 1 frame, and then do a 1-frame pause buffer. If you get a 0-frame here, where you unpause and pause and Pac-Man's arms are still at his side, you need to start over. That messes up your movement enough, you're in a different position. I'd like to try to find a backup for that, but I haven't yet. Anyway, so yeah, move for a frame and pause, unpause for a frame and pause again so you're in this position. Triangle leave. Right, down, down, right, down, down. Tap down a few times. Hold down. And then when you're in this position and you just hold down, you keep like moving against the wall, you do need to release and tap down a little bit to kind of edge through it and get through. But yeah. I've just found this so much more consistent than the last setup. 1-frame, unpause with triangle. There we go. 1 frame of movement and pause, and then unpause. Nope, that messed up. The 0-frame means that it doesn't work, sadly. Like that, you can tell I repaused without moving. That means that it didn't work. Okay, now here's an interesting thing that I really like about this. If you did move for 2 frames, like this, before pausing, that's fine. You can just unpause here, and you're in the right position, you're in the right setup. that's fine. So I would do right, down, down, right, down, down, and then tap down a few times, and then I'm good. Yeah, there's just a lot more lenience to this. If people try to learn this and are happy with it, and I can find a consistent setup, or a consistent backup if you get a 0-frame pause in the middle there, this seems like a good setup to me. I feel like I've been hitting it pretty consistently. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, this seems really good. Again, I'll put the inputs in the description. And yeah, if people are happy with this and this just is the setup, I can try to make a less rambling, more scripted video describing it. I just wanted to put this out here while I was thinking about it and still had it in my mind.